those on if you want. Welcome to the show, everyone. I was just saying before we came on today that I cannot even believe it's Thursday, let alone that Christmas is a few weeks away. Not even. A couple of weeks away. It's nuts out there. This year is going by fast. Phew, I'm so glad it is. We're live on Facebook, so I want to say hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We're going to be sharing the show in just a little bit. I'm going to go in with my first guest because if it is the first Thursday of the month, it means Havie and Howie. I have with me Havie Bravo and Howard Farkash, and they are the principals of Bravo Insurance Agency. Welcome to the show.
It's glad to be back.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much for being here. And wow, you've got a little setup right now here. Tell us a little bit about what you want to talk about today.
Wow, let's talk about COVID-19, how it's affected us over Thanksgiving and how it's affected us over the year, because it's really made people think about insurance more.
Absolutely.
People are looking at mortality face to face, staring them in the face. It's amazing. Everybody has a safe and joyous Christmas and Hanukkah that's coming up. So Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah.
Christmas.
So let's talk about that because it's so important. So especially right now, as this gets worse, these cases are rising. Most people are very frightening and thinking about life insurance and what they should do. And you have some different things that you have. I like to say a lot of tools in your pockets, in your
Santa bag?
in your little Santa your Santa bag this year. It's a Santa bag this month. Wait till you see what he does as well. He does lots of different things for people. But tell everybody a little bit about what you mean by this and what you're seeing and hearing from people.
Well, since we have the show started about a year and a half ago, we sold life insurance with living benefits. And as this pandemic grew and grew, and people saw mortality staring at them, they thought about their own mortality and how poorly they were set up financially in case of an emergency like this, if they got ill or lost their job. So we've seen a spike in people buying more insurance on our side. We're 5-to-1 ratio, five applications to every one application of the old type of insurance, because living benefits is the new type. And we've had an abundance of success the last 2 months especially.
And by living benefits, what we mean is you don't have to pass away in order to actually receive cash benefits from the policy.
I know all about this, and the reason why I do is the first time I, started to have you on the show and you were talking about it, I myself, this was way before COVID, but the reason why I thought about it was because I was a single mom, and I want you to kind of talk a little bit about it and how it works, because let me tell you guys, you have to think about these things, and especially if you're by yourself, and even if you're with somebody, you want to make sure your ducks are in a row and things are taken care of, and it's really important. Go ahead, Hop.
Absolutely. You're right. We started talking to you back in 2019 BC. Before COVID. So, and you did get your ducks in a row, which is very nice that you did that through us. We're seeing people put this together, their plans together, because, cancer, heart attacks, strokes happen to everybody. Any race, any creed, whatever, okay? It's very important to be prepared. Howard's been preparing people with Medicare for the last 2 months, actually, in the last 2 weeks, especially 24 hours a day, basically.
Especially right now because it's open enrollment.
We're facing the end of the renewal period right now, so we always like to say, don't renew without a review, basically, because thousands of dollars could be involved when a drug plan shifts its premium upward by 25-35%. And when you look at some of the drugs being doubled or tripled in their pricing, year to year, it makes sense to have the review to decide whether you should change your plan.
I do not know if he's listening or not, but I'm going to say this, okay? Okay, I'm just going to do it. I talk to a lot of different people, and everybody has a little bit of something else. And like I said, you have the more tools than I think a lot of people have.
Absolutely.
And that's what I want to talk about this for just a second here, because like my ex-husband, and we were talking about this. I mean, I just said, it's a good idea to speak, just find out, because it's a conversation. It's all it is. Mm-hmm. And it's a free consultation that you get. And it's worth it to find out. I mean, you can talk to a lot of them. There's a lot out there, and they are free, but everybody has a little something different, and that's why I think it's important. I love this show for that that reason too, because people get to hear you and not just hear this little ad, but they hear you talking. But I think it's so important for people to take a listen and say, you know what, maybe you just want to talk to somebody else just in case before you actually jump into what you think that's right.
Absolutely. And Carol, we're more of an educational type of agency. We only want an educated customer. We don't want to just have a customer. We want to have an educated customer to buy the right thing for the right price for the right reason.
For whatever it is, whether it's the life insurance with living benefits, even with the obviously your Medicare. Let me tell you how important it is to have your plans reviewed before how did you say it?
You don't renew without a review.
The reason why is because, again, here's the same issue. You don't know what you don't know. And that's why it's a good idea to just have that conversation with them. You can call them direct, their phone number. Can I give them, which number do you want me to do today?
Both.
Doesn't matter? Okay, well, I've got this one in front of me, so I'm going to do this.
480-818-3665, or for Medicare.
602-909-8433.
And you can also check them out on Facebook. What I love about them the most is, first of all, they're great people in terms of their personality and all of that. You absolutely love to get to know your clients. This is not something that they're just doing with you right now and then boom, you're done, you go. This is something where they get to know you personally and they want to ask you a lot of questions because they're going to find out what's right for you.
In insurance speak, we call that relationship selling as opposed to transactional selling. Most of our clients are with us for a long time, and they come back to us for other needs because we have such a wide variety of products and services to offer.
So today, besides talking about, obviously, here's it is, besides talking a little bit about, the COVID and dealing with what's in front of you, what else do you want to talk about before we go to a break?
Well, before we get off this subject, the operators are standing by. Call.
And we operate in a COVID-friendly way.
We can. Yes.
So here we go. And this is another thing I have to say, too. I'm going to have to say this, Howie, okay? Because Howie is... I love to say it's so big. Let me say why I like that. And I even said this to my ex, too. It's nice to have somebody who's in your shoes or walked in your shoes and you understand them more than anything.
I understand where they're coming from. I understand where they want to go. I've been there. I've done that. Basically, I'm up to my eyeballs in Medicare.
Now, don't renew until you review. And that's what you want them to do, is have them do that. They have operators standing by at all times for you. Their phone number is 480-818-3665, or what's yours?
602-909-8433.
Okay, and what else should we talk about?
And this is not, by the way, this is the renewal time, but we also work with people just coming into Medicare, and we have a special book offer for them. The Traps of Medicare. That's available.
Is such a great book. I got the book and I was taking a look at it for Kenny. That's what the reason. I'm telling you now, for all of the things that they're talking about here, have that conversation with them. That book is a terrific book. What's the name of it again?
The Traps of Medicare.
And there are traps. There's a lot of different things that you don't know about, and somebody else might not know either. Exactly. That's why I want you to make sure that you get this information. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you know. Their number to call direct, it's 480-818-3665, or it's 602-909-8433, and they do free consultations.
949-8433.
Say it again.
No, say it again. 602-909-8433.
I said it right. He doesn't even know his own number.
He just wanted to make sure I was listening.
We're going to go to a break. What I love about them is they are just so much fun, and they're light, but they know what they're talking about when it comes to this subject. They've been doing it for an awful long time. Their phone number, again, it's 480-818-3665 or 602-909-8433.
Amen.
We're going to continue. You can do what you want over there. Good job, guys.
Take care.
We'll talk soon.
Okay.
Take care. Good luck.
Okay, so now let's go back over to where we were, because life insurance, you talked about that. We want to talk a little bit about, are you going to bring out any of these kinds of things?
Absolutely.
Okay,
The
so
greatest
can we
gift
go
you can give
back?
somebody is life insurance.
Let's do, that's what we're going to do when we
now
come back.
We focus on gifting, basically, and it's not that unusual. There's gifting a husband and wife, etc., taking care of the family, security of the family moving downstream. And then there's the idea of gifting to children, basically. So when they get to be a certain age, they'll have something in the bank. So they won't have to go begging for student loans and things of that nature, because the money will be there. Yeah.
Got it.
Do you want us to bring you a casserole or a check?
Or a
I'm gonna
college
do that.
education.
I love saying that.
Or a college education. That's the beauty of living benefits. So much flexibility.
Mine got taken out today.
Does it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's your
Commercial.
ad.
That was a great commercial.
Well, you guys can always come in here and do one, anytime.
Well, we'll
Are
talk.
you going to take time afterwards to do a little networking Arizona moment with
If you
me?
like to.
If you want, if you'd like to.
Call us at 480-316-7862.
I'm glad you're coming to our party.
I am going to do everything in my power to be there. My plan is I wrote it in my book and everything to do it.
What did
In
my book
Mesa.
too? As I said, I made you what I call a relatively short timer. My wife lets me
We
know
used to
when I
always
leave.
have Christmas parties, and he's not ready any longer to do anything like that right yet. I'm sure not ready.
Yeah.
But we used to every year, and we'd have the biggest. They were all my people that would come, and we had a blast.
That
We
would be
had
nice.
every year. We had the
Wonderful
greatest.
networking, obviously. Oh, yes.
Hmm. But maybe it'll be better next year. I don't know, because I thought we were going to have one just an open house. I was ready to have something in January, this last January. But he's not ready. He's not ready because it's just there's a lot involved. There's just a lot involved.
Well, but there's still high risk of putting. That's one of the problems we have in generating more and more cases.
That's another problem is that too now, which of course that's probably the reason why he's not. Boy, this place is so tight with the the hallways are so tight you couldn't get arrested for having a party here. You haven't met Doc yet.
That's right.
You have not met Doc yet.
No.
He's my
No, I
longest.
did.
Doc is my longest.
He was here and I was sitting there. Remember?
Oh, you have met him?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's been on my longest running guest, 10 years.
One finger up. Go.
Welcome back, everyone. Yeah, it's the end of the year and we're having a good time in here. We can't even believe it. But you know what? We're going to talk about gift giving right now, okay? And I'm talking here with Howie and Havie. It's their show today, and we've been talking a little bit about, what is the best gift, not only to give to, let's say, your spouse, your children, but yourself. You didn't mention that. I wrote that down. Yourself, because that's what I did. What is the best gift you can give to someone?
Well, you know where I'm coming to come from. Obviously, it's life insurance.
Yeah.
Am I a life insurance guy? Certainly, basically. But we really want to give to the people we love. We want to show that love by giving them the most important gift they can have, which is financial stability, basically. When someone passes away, that's very financially upsetting. Our family is made up of at least one, very often two, economic engines. What happens when your engine fails? Well, you're in trouble, basically. You've got to get it fixed. When someone passes away, you can't fix that, but at least you can fix the financial part of that through the proper structuring of life insurance policies.
Being prepared. It's all about being prepared.
Absolutely. And when something happens, isn't it wonderful to receive a check to ease the pain of financial problems and also financial difficulties?
Right.
We
And
make things go better when things go bad.
you do. And this is the thing is we don't know when this is going to happen. And it isn't if it's going to happen because it's when
That's right.
it does. You also like to say something else too that I love to also mention. I can't wait to say it.
Go ahead and take it.
Because what do you really want at the end of the day? Do you want a cat?
Do you want a casserole when times go bad, or do you want me to bring you a check?
Right.
to
What
help
do you want?
things? Right.
Really, what do
A
you
death,
want?
a disability. Do you want a check or a casserole?
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about life insurance, and I'm going to talk about the one that the living benefits, right?
Okay.
Because this one, with the living benefits, you don't have to die
That's
in
right.
order to use that money. And I want to talk a little bit about that. I want them to hear that because a lot of people, I asked you about this one time, is why don't more people do it? And you said because a lot of people don't even know about it.
That's right. Not many people know about the plan out there that's available for them. Living benefits. Very few carriers offer that. There's only 7 carriers in the country that offer it right now. We have all 7 carriers through our office. For example, someone has a heart attack. devastating. A stroke, gets cancer. All those things are life events that cause financial problems. So our plan with the living benefits will provide a check up front while you're alive to handle the situation, because you might be off of work, you still got mortgage payments coming in, car payments, food to put on the table, things like that. Maybe you're not working. Maybe you don't have disability insurance through work. But this will help put a Band-Aid on it for a while.
And I'll tell you something. One of the things that I guess when I turned older, like 62, right, I started thinking about these things too. And because I don't have family anymore, they're gone, they're all passed away. Not a lot of money. It wasn't about money and anything for our family and stuff like that. But for me, my thought was, what can I do to make sure that I have something for my kids? Because I have nothing really other than this, which is an awesome thing to be able to have, making sure that you can use it for almost anything, correct?
Well, that's correct. In fact, it is amazing that there are these 7 life insurance companies that do offer this kind of a product, but they really are not marketing it aggressively. If they marketed it more aggressively, I'm sure it would sell more policies, and people would know much more about it. They're just advertising their own brand name, but not explaining the power of their product.
It's amazing the power of the product, and the only way you know is by having a conversation with them. They're free to talk to, and so that they can find out a little bit about you, find out what your needs are, and find out how they can help you. Not only with obviously this, we've been talking a little bit about life insurance, living benefits, life insurance with living benefits, but also even in Medicare. Please, let's say this again, don't renew until you have it reviewed.
Absolutely. But getting back to the gifting theme of what we were talking about, it's not just gifting husband for wife and wife for husband, but it is really an opportunity to also look at your children and even put policies on their lives. They get to be 20 or 25 years old, or even younger than that. That money that's in the policy, the cash value of the policy, can be used for a college education. So it's not just checks, it's not just casseroles, it's college just as well.
I also want to say this, as you were saying about gift and giving, right? The people that listen to this show, and I have a lot of people that are regular listeners, that when you tell somebody about something, and which is what networking is all about, that's a gift, especially when it's something like this. You just never know what you might do when you tell somebody that you heard something like about this, or give them that call and you have that conversation. You might have just helped yourself with something that you never knew about.
Sure, because money accumulates over time. If you start on a child's policy when they're young, by the time they're going to be 17, 18 years old and heading off to college, that's a little bit of you don't have to go looking for a college loan. You've got your money contained right there in the policy.
So beyond the Medicare aspect of our agency and helping the seniors with that, we also have Medicare age clients who need life insurance by no expense, or getting rid of a policy that no longer is needed. We can help them get rid of that policy and maybe get a new policy with living benefits. We're very diverse in what we offer.
Yeah, and do you work nationwide?
We do a network of agents that are going through our agency, yes.
Right, so they can help anyone. And here's the thing, their phone number, they always have people standing by to answer the phones to talk to you. Their phone number is 480-818-3665. They also have 602-909-8433. Go ahead. I honestly, I think people, when I sit in, I sit back, and I never thought about stuff like this when I was younger. And forget about when I was 20, even when I was 50, I didn't think about all of this. But at some point we do. All of a sudden, something happens in our mind when we get a little bit older, after gets that number 60 or whatever the number it is, and you start, maybe because I went gray, but honestly, you start to think about these things, and especially with COVID going around right now. Of course, we're now thinking even more so. And more than anything, please, everybody that's listening, please just take your time to ask questions, find out how they can help.
Give us a call. It's no obligations, free. Give us a call at 480-818-3665 or
602-909-8433.
and we'll help you. We will really truly help.
We're dedicated. Our whole business is not just selling life insurance. It's the acquisition of clients who work with us on many different financial issues.
Would it be 401k rollovers? It could be a CD rollover. It could be Medicare, like you said.
Yeah,
or
we
nursing home coverage.
transition
Yes.
people out of their working environment in their financial needs relative to leaving work and transitioning into retirement. So we're a well-rounded kind of a company.
Right.
We also help veterans with their benefits as well.
In fact, there's a new veterans benefit coming on the market right now, and people need to call us to talk about that. It's a means of getting some compensation for caregivers for veterans who are disabled and living at home.
And that program kicked off by President Trump October 1st, and we already have our first case submitted.
Well, I'll tell you, so that's something so important. That's what I love about my show. When you listen to these kinds of things and you hear this, you may have never heard it before, but on Networking here in Arizona, you do. And again, maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you know. Tell them about it. You can call them direct. Again, that number is 480-818-3665, 602-909-8433. We kind of are throwing it all out at like this with this new veterans benefit that you've been talking about. I know we talked about it for Veterans Day a little tiny bit. I want you to kind of go in a little tiny bit more for anyone that might hear. Okay.
So if there's a veteran out there who's served and been injured and that now needs care by a caregiver and is aged, a relative or non-relative can be paid, compensated by the government's program for that care.
And hardly anyone knows about it, but they do. And this is what you do as your firm, is you search out different, a plethora of different avenues of how you can help people through their finances and also of their life insurance, their health, their Medicare, and even retirement.
And that caregiver benefit also flips over into the civilian side or the non-veteran side. It's not being paid by the government perhaps, but individual policies are now opening up to paying caregivers for the care they give to an insured, somebody who has purchased some form of long-term care insurance.
And that caregiver could be anyone. It could be even just a daughter. That's
right.
right.
Oh,
it doesn't
absolutely.
have to be
Sure.
somebody
Right.
who's a caregiver that's licensed, right?
And
That's
that's
right.
important because
That's right.
that daughter may have had to give up her job to take care of her
She
relative.
changed her lifestyle, her life, to help care of mom and dad.
Right.
So now there's some programs are now emerging that give some comp for that.
Well, it's the end of the year. We have 1 minute. Go ahead and tell them how you want to finish this
It's the
show
end
off.
of the show, but it's also the end. It's the end of the year, but it's also the end of the show. We've enjoyed being here for the time we have with you. Thank you so very much.
Carrie,
and
you're
you
fantastic.
and you're fantastic. That's the point.
Well,
This show goes because of you.
Well, thank you so much. Listen up, everyone. Listen to what we're talking about here. I know we were a little light today, but that's good, sometimes. And everyone can't believe that we are here at the end of the year doing this already right now. But you have to take a listen to the things that are being said here and give them a call. It's a free conversation with them. They're wonderful people to work with and talk to. They'll get to know you and show you how they can help you. Please, in any area of what we've been talking about today, don't forget, don't renew until you reviewed. Have that conversation with them. That number again is 602-9.
wish you a Merry Christmas.
Aw.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry
Feliz
Christmas,
Navidad,
everyone.
everybody. Happy Hanukkah.